this is Allie Wheatley if you've not met me before, and I'm going to take you through about an hour yoga class today, and it'll be for all levels. I will make some options that make it more challenging, and feel free to modify any way you want to. I'll offer some suggestions along the way. So if you need blocks or straps, you want to have those handy, and we're going to get going here now. So to begin, take a seat in any position that will allow for you to find an aligned spine. And it is helpful, of course, to start by just checking in and drowning out some of the outside noises that are currently going on in your life, mentally, physically. So once you align your spine and relax your shoulders, you can just bring your hands to your knees or your lap. Softly close your eyes to decrease distraction that comes through vision. And take a moment to just assess what you're currently focusing on. And then just bring your awareness inside the four corners of your mat. And then bring the awareness slowly to your breath. And see if you can transition to breathing in and out only through the nose if you are not already doing that. Breathing through the nose helps create space for a clear mind. And if you're comfortable and familiar with the Ujjayi technique, you can start to incorporate that with your practice. Let this class be an opportunity for some self-care and be present with what is happening, one breath at a time. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, go ahead and do that. If you're needing an idea, you could just simply focus on being present. And to seal that intention, you can bring your palms together at heart center and gently draw your chin in towards your throat, lengthening the back of your neck. From there, bringing your gaze back up, opening the eyes and relaxing the hands down. We're going to go right ahead into hands and knees position and just kind of warm up the spine. So stacking shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. I'm going to tuck my toes under, bring a little bit more awareness into my feet. And begin by inhaling as you drop the belly towards the mat, chin towards the sky. And as you exhale, reverse that curve, rounding the back, spreading across the shoulder blades and scooping the tailbone under. Continue that with your own rate of breath, another time or two. You can then just kind of start to move organically, maybe side to side, looking back. Keeping the belly drawn in. You could even make some circles. Just becoming aware of your mobility of the spine today, because it can change depending on other activities you've had in the last day or two, how you've slept. And as you bring your spine back to that neutral position, we're going to go ahead and tuck the toes under, lift the knees up, and just hover there for a moment. If you need to, you can always release the knees back to the earth, but we're just engaging the core, warming it up a little bit. From here, you have the option of keeping the left knee up and extending the right leg behind you. Toes are toward the ground, knee is straight. Again, you could do this with the other knee down. Bring that knee back in, toes touch, but knees hovering an inch above the mat, still stacked under hips, and extend the other leg out. It's a great way to bring some awareness to your core strength, making sure you're not dipping into the low back like that. You want to keep it strong and stable. We'll do one more on each side. Make sure you're still breathing, gazing at the floor. Moving slowly so that you keep control through the hips without rocking. From there, you can release the knees down to the mat. Untuck the toes, knees a little bit wider than hips, and we're going to walk the hands out. Kind of a modified or variation of puppy dog. Just getting a stretch through the shoulders, chin towards the shins. As you come back up, you'll bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, getting a quick stretch on each side. Later today, you can hold this position for extra breaths to relieve any tension. Then you're going to reverse it around, fingers point towards the knee, shifting your weight back just a bit if you need an extra stretch. Change into the other side, first palm to the sky, back of the hand on the mat. And then palm to the mat, but fingers rotate around to face your knee, shifting your hips back if you need that additional stretch. Coming back, knees back underneath the hips, tuck the toes under, modified downward facing dog. From there, shift your weight forward, creating a straight and long, steady plank. Always option of knees down. From this plank, we're going to take another deep breath in and exhale. We're going to keep the elbows in, bend into a little bit of a chaturanga, just a baby chaturanga. Keeping shoulders in line with the elbows, no lower than elbows ever. And then pressing back up. Again, you could do this with knees down. Hold it here, one more inhale. Keep the elbows drawn in by your rib cage. Neck is aligned with the rest of the spine. Starting to bend the elbows. Elbows are grazing the ribs, maybe go a little bit lower. Press back up. One more inhale here. Last one. Exhale, lower. Maybe a little bit farther this time. And press back up. And then shift your hips up and back to that downward dog. And hold it here for a couple of breaths. Feel free to pedal it out if you prefer. Sometimes I just prefer being still and feeling my breath. Feel free to tuck the chin slightly, lengthening the back of the neck, stretching that area, shoulders away from ears. Inhale, shift back into that plank pose. Exhale, elbows in by your sides, lower to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pressing back up. Exhale, downward dog. A little change up this time. Inhale to plank. Stay there as you exhale. Inhale, modified upper dog. Still toes tucked under, but heart lifting. Shoulders are still stacked over wrists. Exhale, bend into the elbows as you engage the core, straightening out there. Inhale, press back up, and exhale, downward dog. Sorry if you can't always see my head. I'm kind of working under these special conditions outside of a studio environment, just in my own bedroom. So we'll do the best we can. All right, same thing. Inhale, shift your weight forward into plank. Continue forward into up dog, shoulders down and back. Flatten out through the core. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, forward. Upward facing dog modified. Bend the elbows, chaturanga. Pressing back up, downward dog. Take one more full breath here, and as you exhale, you can bring the feet towards the hands or the hands toward the feet. Soften the knees, release into a forward fold, circling out those wrists, relaxing the head completely like it's a ripe piece of fruit. And as you relax the toes, draw the belly in and slowly roll it up to a standing position, bringing the feet in a little closer to Tadasana position. And pause there for a moment, preparing for modified Surya Namaskar A, leading into full Surya Namaskar A if you're ready. Inhale, reaching up with both arms. Gaze slightly up, palms can meet. Exhale into your expression of a safe forward fold. I'm going to bend the knees, hamstrings are still tight here. Inhale to a halfway lift, shoulders away from the ears, belly drawn in. Exhale, hands meet the mat. I'm going to just do it a little differently so you can see me better. Hopping or jumping, stepping the feet back into your plank. This first time we're going to hold it here again, and then exhale into your chaturanga or all the way down to the mat. I'll do that this time. Draw the wrists back, shoulders away from the earth as you inhale into Cobra, Bhujangasana, holding an extra breath there with length through your neck, elbows in, shoulders away from the ears. Keep pressing into the tops of the feet for one more inhale, and exhale, tuck the toes under. If you need to, move through hands and knees first to your downward facing dog. Relax to the shoulders, check in with your breath. Enjoy the flow of new energy and life into your brain. New blood to your eyeballs, helping with your vision. And clearing your mind for one more full breath right here. Exhale everything out. As you inhale, look where you're going and bring both feet forward to your halfway lift. Exhale to your expression of a full forward fold. My knees are still bent. Inhale, come safely all the way up to standing, Utthita Hastasana, palms meet. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Inhale, reach up. Slight arch if you like it. Exhale, forward fold, chin towards the shins. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, hands meet the mat, feet move back, lowering into Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra, if you need it, will come next. Inhale, otherwise it's upward facing dog, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm adjusting on the mat occasionally. I'm moving a little more than I would recommend, but trying to stay in the camera frame. So enjoy this breath. Lengthening the back of your legs. Still feel free to bend the knees, and sometimes it's nice to lift the heels super high. Really stretch the tailbone away from the crown of your head. And as you keep that length, see if the heels will make their way back to the earth, knees a little straighter. One more time, bend the knees deeply. Heels are high, chest towards the thighs. And then relaxing the shoulders, taking the knees a little straighter, seeing if the heels move closer to the earth. Inhale, feet come forward. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, chin to the shins. Uttanasana. Inhale, coming all the way up, Utthita Hastasana, palms meet. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. I'll be adding in some variations and options for you. I'm going to shift my mat back just a bit. I think it might help. So, here near the top edge of your mat, if you can. Inhale, reach up on your inhale, palms meet. Exhale, full forward fold. This time, inhale to halfway lift, and either exhale to your full forward fold, or work on hand balancing, arm balancing with Bakasana. So hands are flat, you can wiggle the feet back. Bring those knees all the way up to your armpits. Keeping the elbows in line with the wrist, you can start to shift your weight slowly into the hands. Maybe on this first one, you just let the toes stay down. But if they naturally want to float up, then you can let them come off the mat. If available, straighten the elbows a little bit more. And this first one will exhale, bring the feet back down, meeting the wrist in their forward fold. One more time for an inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands meet the mat, feet come back. Lower to your Chaturanga Dandasana or all the way down. Inhale, gliding into your heart opener. And exhale to your expression of Adho Mukha Svanasana. Continuing with some variations, we're going to inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest and pause. Inhale, lift the knee up and back. Exhale, bring the knee to the opposite elbow. You could do this from hands and knees position, by the way. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, bring the knee to the other elbow. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, bring that foot to the chest first and then between the hands. From there, coming up to the fingertips, pressing back through the left heel. Stay there for another inhale, and exhale, knee comes to the earth. Hands to heart center. Good. Take an inhale there, lengthening through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, moving into a spinal twist, so the elbow comes outside that thigh, heart center comes up towards the thumbs, neck is in line with the rest of the spine. Option of getting that back knee off the mat and staying there for another inhale or two. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, taking it back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale through upward facing dog. Exhale through downward facing dog. Same thing, other side, working on that core. Inhale, left leg comes high. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, knee to same side elbow. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, knee to chest first. And then foot between the hands. Up on the fingertips to lengthen first. And then knee can come to the mat. Hands to heart center. Preparing for that spinal twist. Inhale, lengthen, especially through the low back. And exhale, twisting. Bringing the heart center up towards the thumbs. Gazing towards the sky. Option of lifting that back knee and breathing into this twist, squeezing out toxins, fatigue. Feel the liver and kidneys just so happy to feel this twist. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, look into that half vinyasa. Hands to the mat, step it back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Good. Right here for one more full breath. Exhale, everything out. Inhale, look where you're going, bring both feet forward, halfway lift. Exhale, folding in at your center. Inhale, come safely all the way to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. I'll keep adding on options. You're welcome to take them out of the practice and stick with the basics. This time I'm going to add Utkatasana chair pose. So I'm going to keep hands at heart on this first one, sinking into your Utkatasana, making sure knees don't go past the toes. Hips are low, thighs parallel to the earth, but no lower. Option of extending the arms out or up by the ears, but if you find that brings your shoulders too close to the ears, then just keep them at heart center. That's what I'm doing today. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. I'm going to turn towards you for a moment, just so you can get an idea of where we're heading. I've got my knees and feet in line with each other, a little bit space between them. We're still holding and breathing, warming up the thighs, strengthening our glutes, toes are relaxed. Take one more inhale here. We'll go into a spinal twist. So you're going to exhale, bring your left elbow outside the right thigh, heart center, reaches up towards the thumbs, just like we did in that lunge. And breathe. You can look down, make sure the knees are still in line with one another. And take your gaze back up, belly drawn in. Inhale, come to center. You could go to a forward fold if you need a rest here. Otherwise, holding here for one more breath. If you need to, drop back to Utkatasana and exhale other side. So really building some stamina in your legs today. Getting some nice twists to detox. So lengthen as you breathe in and out here, holding this twist on the other side. exhale, we're going to come forward. This time everyone into a forward fold. Soften the knees, relax the head. You can cross the elbows and surrender. I'm going to turn back to the side. You don't need to turn. So working on core and stamina today. Twisting, strengthening. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to that forward fold if you need to focus more on stretching. Otherwise, returning to that Bakasana option. So walk the feet back, bring the knees high, shift the weight slowly into the hands. And once if the toes happen to leave the mat, then you can bring them together and work on straightening the elbows. From here, option of just taking it straight back to your chaturanga. Inhaling to your upward dog and exhaling, downward facing dog. So focusing on a little core work from here again like we did earlier. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, bring knee to chest. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, opposite elbow. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, same side elbow. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, bring knee to chest and hold. And then place the foot between the hands. Good. Inhale, hands to heart. You know the option of lowering the knee if you need it. Otherwise, just exhale into that twist. This time, if you need to go deeper, you could take this left hand and bring it to the floor, opening up the chest as you reach the arm up to the sky, or at a diagonal. Reaching back to the sky if you were there, and bringing hands back to heart center. We're going to take the fingertips down, shorten our stance just a little bit, making sure that back foot is over to the left enough to allow the hips to square. And with straight legs, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold in towards that straight front leg. You could turn the fingertips back and walk the fingertips back. You could also take the hands behind your back, straighten the elbows, interlace the fingers, and bring the arms over. Any of those will work, just stay within your limits today. Good. Couple more breaths in your full forward fold. Moving into Parvrita, a revolving triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. Going to bring your left hand forward for the first variation, and the hand can be flat or on a block. The other hand's going to slide up, your right hand slides up to your sacrum, and you can extend this arm up to the sky, still gazing at the toe or tucking the chin to extend your gaze towards that outstretched thumb. For more of a challenge, as you continue to breathe there, you can stay right where you are, but for more of a challenge and deeper twist, you can bring the hand to the outside of the ankle, and the rest is the same. You can keep your gaze down if that works better for balance and your neck, or you can look up towards that thumb, breathing into all limbs, keeping them grounded and lengthening. Powerful energy through all of that. Stay there for one more inhale. Good, nice long lines, everybody. And then exhale, you're going to bring that hand back down. Hand on each side of that foot. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you can just step it back. Half Vinyasa, Chaturanga. Upward dog, hold an extra breath. Enjoy that stretch through the hip flexors. Keep those outer ankles lifted. Use your lower core to lift up and back to downward facing dog. So same thing, other side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, high. Exhale, opposite elbow. Inhale, high. Exhale, same side elbow. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. Hold there for a moment. And then plant the foot forward. Strong back leg. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale into your twist. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Remember your option of going deeper by bringing the fingertips down, reaching up with the opposite arm. Be sure that front knee still lines up with the toes, so push into your upper arm. That'll help. Nice deep twists. Inhale, coming arm back to the sky. And exhale, bringing the hands forward. As the fingertips approach the earth, you can drag that back foot in, and then walk the right foot over to the right a little bit, squaring your hips. So this is my torn meniscus, tight hamstring issues side. So I'll be taking it not as deep on this side, so that's important. We all respect our limits regardless of what's happened or happening. You gotta be present with what is. Okay, so folding forward over that straight front leg, making sure to keep weight under the inner corners of both feet. You can turn the fingertips back if you'd like to. Bring the hands back towards the foot. So option number one in our Pavitra Trikonasana is right hand flat on the inside of the ankle, sliding the hand around to the sacrum to make sure the hips are level, and then option of extending that arm. You can tuck your chin and gaze up to that outstretched thumb. The other option is to take that right hand to the outside of your ankle and do the same thing. I'll stay with this first option on this side so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to move my hand for a minute to show you. Remind yourself to keep that crease at the top of your left thigh pulled back so those hips stay in line. One more inhale there. Exhale, hand meets the earth. Stepping the left foot back, returning to plank, moving through that Vinyasa. We'll hold that upward facing dog again to stretch those hip flexors. And this time we're going to lower the knees to the earth and bring ourselves into traditional child's pose with the arms by the legs, tucking the chin to bring kind of beyond the forehead, more the front crown of your head to the earth. You could circle out the wrists here. I'm going to come out of it so I can talk to you. Circle out those wrists a little bit. What's nice about child's pose is with that tucking of the chin, exposing the back of your neck, it's helping, it's kind of a sign of humility. Our ego is kind of stored right there at the base of our skull in that little pocket. And so sometimes if we're really drawn and in our ego, kind of feeling high and mighty, you might see that tighten. It might even look like nose in the air. But by stretching, bowing the head forward, you help to release the negative aspects of ego, and so it's a sign of humility. Okay. So from that child's pose, you can just roll up onto your heels, and from there just shift your hips to one side and bring the legs out in front. So finding the sit bones, moving all muscle out of the way, toes to the sky, hands by your hips, and draw the chin in again once more just for a moment to prepare the body for just a few seated poses. So staying with that theme of core, We're going to bring the knees in towards the chest just a little bit and work through Navasana boat pose. So you can take the hands behind you and rock back, or my preferred method is take the hands behind the thighs. From there, I'll walk the feet in, lifting the heels, and shift just behind my sit bones, letting the toes float off the mat. Okay, I'm going to make what I call barefoot Barbie feet. So it's first think about pointing the toes, keeping the ankles that way, but drawing the toes back towards your shins. Elbows stay in, heart is lifting, and you can take the knees, they're squeezing together like the legs are just one unit, and bring the legs parallel to the earth as a start. Pressing to the balls of your feet, option of extending the arms out. From there, cross the ankles in, bring the knees in close to your chest, hands by your hips, and lift, lower, return for another round of Navasana. I'm not sure if my hamstrings will allow it, but if available to you, you can take the legs completely straight. Just make sure not to compromise your spine. You want to keep that lined spine, breathing, pressing through the balls of your feet. Still breathing, and then cross the ankles in, knees are in close, hands close to your hips as you lift up, lower for one more round of your expression of Navasana. Keeping the legs close. If you need more challenge, arms can come up and you can move into a twist, or you can just stay steady. I'm going to bring mine back in, hamstrings are tight. And then cross the ankles in, knees close to the chest, one more lift. And lower. Good. To just get a little counter pose, let's extend the legs out. Move into upward facing plank with the hands behind and lift the hips. And release back to the earth. From there, draw your left knee in close to your body, grounding through both sit bones. From there, cross the foot over to the outside of that leg. May stop there if you want to go a little deeper for the spinal twist. You can shift to that right side to bring the right foot around. Heel is outside your sit bones, so you want space to sit down. Take a moment to level out there. Use the legs to leverage yourself into a nice long spine, heart open. And then bring left hand behind you. Inhaling as you lengthen through that right arm. And exhale, elbow outside the thigh. If you want to, you can leverage it a little bit deeper. Wrists will stay straight. Lengthen on your inhale. And exhale, start to rotate. Kind of like you're walking up a spiral staircase. Start from the base of your spine and slowly, gradually rotate all the way through the neck, but never straining the eyes. So don't lead with the eyes. The eyes will go where the face goes. You can stay right there. If you need to go deeper, you can always thread this arm through and find it with the other. Just make sure shoulders aren't forward. You don't want to draw them back as you stay with that stretch. Turn your gaze to the front. You can release that side. Option of crossing the legs and moving through a half vinyasa. And then return to your seated position to set up for the other side. You can hop through. I just have a torn meniscus, so I have to be careful. I'm going to repeat on the other side. So left leg will be out, finding your sit bones, and cross that foot over. You can stay here or you can shift over. Bring your left heel around outside your right hip joint and ground through the sit bones again. Finding some length. Just close your eyes here for a minute. Observe without judging any difference on this side. Getting a glare through my windows. Again, I apologize. Special circumstances require adaptability, right? And moving into that twist, we'll take the right hand around, close to your body so it can give you that extra length. Still grounding through the base of your big toe on the right foot. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow over. Use the leverage of that arm to help you get more length. And exhale, starting at the base of your spine and twisting. Check that your wrist stays straight, palm open. Again, if you need to go deeper, you can thread this arm through and find the other hand or wrist, and then open up the heart again, staying down through both sit bones and breathing. Great deep twist here. Again, twists are wonderful for detoxing. They're great for the liver, the kidneys, the digestive organs. I'm going to look at you so you can hear me better. Stay in the twist. They also help with the spine because the discs don't receive their own blood supply. They require what the body does. So these twists are a wonderful way, squeezing out old stuff from the intervertebral discs. And when you go back to neutral, rushes new nutrients and blood back to those discs. So go ahead and rotate back to the front, release the hands, good. And cross the legs and extend them forward. Let's do another upward facing plank to just open up those hip flexors so hands are behind. Remember, you could do this with knees bent, more of a tabletop otherwise. Lifting the hips from here and exhale back to the mat. Good. All right. Hug the knees in. Open the knees out to the side, soles of the feet together. For Baddha Konasana, just briefly here, just for a little change up, I'm going to take the hands to the inside of the feet, open the feet like they're a book, and read the page you're on. Making sure you're still present. Lengthen through the spine on your inhale. All we're going to do is hinge at the hips, so spine stays aligned. Think about moving your chest beyond the feet, forehead be way beyond the feet, into that forward fold. When you feel that first point of resistance, before you have the surrender to that roundness, keep that alignment. Pause. Inhale, create length. Exhale, maybe go a little deeper. And you just can continue with that. Inhale, creating space. Exhale, move into the space you just created. As you inhale, come back up. Bring the knees together and extend them out in front. Moving into one more inversion, working towards headstand doesn't mean you're going to go there, but want to give you some options in case you do. Otherwise, you're just going to work on building core strength and the form that'll take you to a headstand down the road. So from a hands and knees position, bring your forearms to the earth. You can then bring the elbows in. Just get a distance that feels comfortable, not too wide, not too narrow. And open the hands up into like a triangle, lightly interlacing the fingers. Some of you will just relax the head and lift the knees up, working on developing that core strength. You can also take the knees straighter and walk them in. That's going to be even more demanding. For those comfortable with headstand, I'll give you some options once we're up there. So find your spacing, make sure I'm in the mirror, and bring the back of the head into the area of your interlaced fingers, head barely touching the earth. From there you can lift the knees, walk the feet in a little bit, and then slowly, if the feet want to lift, allow them to come up. So you can just stay in your headstand, or you can do it as an up and down pose. And you can kind of stop it halfway, go back up, kind of like a little bit of a upside down ab workout. So I'll just demonstrate a couple of those so you know what they are. Otherwise, you're coming up and down from form without full headstand, resting in child pose as needed. So we'll spend a few moments working on
wherever you need to work. So you could just kind of, maybe you only come a little ways down, maybe you come halfway, but with control, just lower the legs a little bit. And then come back up. Great core work for both the back and front abs. I mean, the back muscles and front ab muscles, so all the core muscles. And then after a few rounds, you can just slowly come back down. And then rest in child's pose. Reconnect with the present moment while you continue in child's pose for a couple more breaths. As you come out of child's pose, you can just go ahead and bring the legs out in front of you and make your way down all the way onto your back. I have another YouTube video that is a Shavasana, so I'll let you use that for your Shavasana as opposed to doing one here. But maybe once you get on your back, a few final poses that would feel good is rocking side to side a little bit. Exhaling knees to chest. Chin and forehead toward the knees. Releasing back out. Maybe you want to move into a spinal twist. And spend a few breaths each side. One nice, gentle, passive stretch. Keeping the arm extended, trying to melt the shoulder blade down into the earth. And you can bring the knees back to center using those core muscles. Realign the spine if you need to. And the knees go to the opposite side. As you plant and melt. For me, in this case, the right shoulder blade's melting into the earth. I'm gazing out over that right hand. As you inhale, come back to center. Hug the knees in once more. Any final poses you need here, otherwise you can just start to surrender to a Shavasana of your own, or pull up my other video where I will guide you through a Shavasana. So thanks for your energy, thanks for your time. I hope you found some value in this workout today and that you were able to stay present, one breath at a time, because that is the only way to really manifest a new you, is being present with what is, not living in your past, not thinking about what you used to do, what you could have done, anything like that. Being right here, right now, being present with what is, and providing an opportunity for new things to come your way. So with that, I want to if you'd like to, bring your hands together at heart center. The Sanskrit word namaste basically means that the light in me bows to and honors that same light that resides in you. So, namaste.